I'm Melissa Brown, the Global Head of Applied Research at Contigo. We are very proud to introduce the STOXX Europe 600 Paris-Aligned Benchmark, also known as the PAB. The index was officially launched in June of 2020, but we tested the concept back to March 2018. Over that full period, the Paris-Aligned Benchmark produced higher returns and lower volatility than the underlying STOXX Europe 600 index. During that time, it outperformed by almost 3% annually, and while it outpaced the underlying index each year, it fared particularly well in the market turmoil during the first half of 2020. The realized tracking error was a relatively low 2.4%, and therefore the information ratio exceeded 1.0 for the period. The outperformance was also fairly steady with no big drawdowns. It was important to ensure that active return came from sustainable and repeatable sources, no pun intended, so we dug a bit deeper into the drivers of the active return and found what we hoped. Most of the risk in the PAB came from its industry exposures, specifically an overweight in pharmaceuticals, which is the result of companies in that sector setting and meeting climate reduction targets, and an underweight in oil and gas that's driven by activity exclusions required by Paris-aligned benchmarks. We also found that the PAB had a bigger tilt towards low beta stocks than the underlying index. These exposures were the major drivers of the positive active return, but we should also note that stock-specific return was a plus, which means that stocks that offer a better climate profile produce performance above and beyond their industry, country, or style factor exposures. You can read our paper to see the risk and return analysis in more detail, but the bottom line is that we observed higher returns and lower volatility for the Paris-aligned benchmark as compared with its underlying index. And although the active risk taken was relatively small, it clearly paid off.